All right, all right, all right. When the going gets rough, you just keep going. This morning's edition of Cop Chat, we're at the port. We're at the port, Kingstown Port, Camden Park Port. How many ports do we have, gentlemen? How many ports? Speaking to the microphone, right? As close as you can possibly get. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Yeah.
Yeah, the Siemens and the Grenadines Port Authority have about 5 ports that operates.
Okay, 5 ports. One hand. Yeah, got one. You got a hand of ports. All right. Now, this morning's conversation, we're speaking with support officers about the roles and responsibilities. We've got in studio Mr. Dwayne McKenzie, Station Sergeant of Police, Mr. Osborne Mackey, Corporal of Police, and Mr. Clint D'Souza, Corporal of Police. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Oh, the unison is lovely. I'm loving it. All right. You said the first person who spoke was Mr. Dwayne McKenzie, Station Sergeant. Now we're live on Facebook and YouTube at WFM 99 SVG. You're not able to see the other gentleman as yet. Gonna work on that like right about now. The first person you heard was Sergeant McKenzie. That's how it's called. Station Sergeant. What's the difference between Station Sergeant and Sergeant?
Yes, there's a difference.
One is at the station and the other
No,
one.
it has to do with the ranks. There's a 3-stripe and the other one with the
Crown.
There's one with the 3 stripes and there's the one with the 3 stripe and the crown.
It's a station.
The one with the crown is the station sergeant.
Oh, you got a crown. He has a crown, and then right. Okay, let's not go wrong into that. Ports. So you said there are 5 ports in total. How do you manage 5 ports?
The 5 ports, 4 of the 5 ISPS compliant, and one that is Grenadines Wharf that is not ISPS compliant. So we just have the police officers stationed at these ports on a daily basis.
Mhm. What is you said ISPS compliant? What does that mean?
There is the International Ship and Port Facility Security Code.
Oh, okay. So what? Once you're compliant, what does that mean?
That means I'll give you a small history.
Mhm.
In 1974, there was a convention that farm and they have the safety for life at sea. And in September 11, 2001, when the terrorist attack in America, they have a next convention and they came up with the ISPS code, which took place on the 12th of December 2002.
Mhm.
And in 2000, in 1st of July 2004 was accepted in our country who signed on to it. And fortunately, St. Winston was one who signed on to that. And we now have the ISPS code.
Mhm.
With that ISPS code, some 2-3 times a year, we will have international inspectors that will come and visit our ports to see that we are compliant and we're carrying out what is make sure that persons working at the port and the ship are safe.
Okay. So no the ports, some of the roles and responsibilities.
We do the same roles as ordinary police officers because we are police officers and then we both code is carried out. Persons entering the port must have a reason to enter the port
Access.
and half. And on the port,
Mhm.
so we have to make sure that persons stay, as we say, in the lane and prevent persons from going all over the port.
Yeah, restricted areas.
Mhm.
Because cargoes and things, some will be loose that can be easily removed. So we don't want when a person come for their items at the port that they are not there. We still have to keep safety for the ships when they dock. And for persons using the port.
Mhm.
Some of our roads are reserved and our properties of the port. To extension, the government property is being taken care of.
Mhm. Oh, you Mackie could jump in here. How has it been? How long have you been at the port?
Right.
Speak up.
Yes.
Let me show you.
Yes.
Yes.
Good day again, everyone. Yes. This year will mark 8 years for me.
8 years at the port?
Yes, 8 years at the port. Right. It's small time.
A small time.
Yes. As extension to Station Mackenzie, we control the port in a sense. Mostly persons might hear grain is what.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I said, to go back to and stuff. Yes. And when the tourist season is coming, that's another thing that we control. That's in a sense, it's more when and also Camden Park and the main port. You're right. Also, yes, when it comes down to Beckway. So, yes, that's so also SPS school compliant.
Now, in terms of, you said that there are certain restricted areas on the port. Whenever, so I'm walking towards the port and I want to go somewhere, do you let like paid persons know up front, okay, these are areas you cannot go in? Like what happens when you approach the port?
Okay, right. So basically, well, for the main port, Camden Park, we mainly deal with access control. So coming on the port, you have to get a pass to come on the port. So now, when you acquire that pass, you be directed by us, police officers, where as also states on your document where you want to collect your cargo. So we'll direct you where to go. So because we know where the restricted areas are, and we have police placed on the ports as strategic points. So when even though you get misplaced to where you're going, we'll be there to direct you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Some of the things that you've seen in your time at the port, things that should not be happening that people do.
Yes, again, good morning to the listening here, Simmons and again, Deans. There are different things that we see persons do. Some people try to scale the fences. Also, persons will try to get on the port without, as Captain Mackey just indicated, without a valid pass. Also, you see people, even persons will come who don't attain a pass, who try to smuggle their pass to get somebody else on the outside onto the port. Also, we, as the station sergeant, we also stated that we conduct searches. So you see from the smuggle of illegal substance, stuff like that.
Let's talk a little bit about the searches. Searches are mandatory on entry and exit of the ports.
When you enter the port, everyone entering the port are subjected to be searched. So once you come to the port and you meet an officer, even when you leave in the port, workers alike and customers, everybody are subjected to be searched. This is to make sure that nobody bring any illegal substance. And as the last sitting of the house in the whole House of Assembly, the last thing that they spoke about was terrorism,
Mhm.
which really comes in to play at the port. Because person want to attack a country, one of the first place they will try to do an attack is the port. So we'll have to make sure that searching posts they do not bring any illegal stuff and the port. So and there's a list at the main gate that will tell you stuff that are not accepted at the port.
Mhm.
Which for some firearm, knife, cutlass, broken glass, batons, and cutlasses. Some of the things that are not accepted on the port.
Mhm.
Because with September 11, what they used to get control of the planes. So we try to restrict these things from going on the port. Also, we check for drugs, and so that person might want to take onto the port to send to other countries, or because they have friends on other boats and things operating, we can give them to take to other countries. So we're looking for all these things when we're searching.
And that's on entering.
That's on entering.
What about on exit?
On exiting now, we are searching persons make sure that they're not removing anything from the port. Because sometimes when cargo do come on the port and they come up from the containers, some of them get damaged. And we hope the person will pack them to send them on the wear and tear that will go through on the boat to reach to St. Vincent. Some of the boxes or even barrels will get damaged and open. So we don't want anybody to go into anybody's stuff and remove anything. So we'll search persons leaving to make sure that they are not taking anything. If anybody give them anything, they must inform the police that is present that somebody give them something, show them what it is, and then the police will knock it and how you get that item. So that is why we start. So nobody will remove anything from the pool that should not be removed.
Okay, you can speak into the mic. I'm sure.
We saw persons coming up from the grading sides because vice versa in taking down people brings up as well. So we from time to time we try as much we're supposed to know how to profile persons. We profile persons coming off the boat, and based on the act of suspicion, we will also search them too. It's also a requirement when coming off the boat that we conduct searches as well. But that mainly based on profile persons coming off the boat.
Oh, because I mean, I have gone to the Grenadines a few times, and I just walk off the boat and just walk through, and I see other people doing the same thing. So I was gonna ask how challenging or how easy is that to conduct searches on everybody? 100 people coming off a boat.
Random searches.
Alright.
Well, with keeping to the ISPF code, there must be a percentage of persons
Okay.
that you research, and that is decision based on the police. 30 to 50% searches every day must be conducted
Okay.
on persons. Again, you use a discretion. There will be different formats. You might search 7 out of every 10 persons. We decide at this particular hour. We amp up our searches.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And in keeping that, you easily be able to detect
Okay.
persons coming based on the mechanisms with illegal substance. So that's one way. But yeah.
Okay. And on tourist season is open, the same thing applies, or is it a different approach?
It's a different approach because of the operation. When there's the operation and the tourists, the routes the route is changed. We want in a typical day to the base without the operation of the tourists. There's the gate 5, which you come on the compound and you exit, which is near to the ferry terminal. Once the tourist operation, we try to channel all the traffic, including vehicle and person through gate 8. There's a gate up over closer to the Massey side. Yeah.
Now, when clearing items at the port, I've witnessed normally the customs officers are the ones who would do the little sifting through. At what point does the police get involved in that?
The police get you when the process is almost to the after your person has been paid all the money. and that the items is ready to leave the port. At this point, as I said earlier on, with the government revenue. So at that point, we'll make sure that the government revenue is being collected. The person will have what we call a gate pass. And they will bring the gate pass, the delivery clerk will again identify the item that should be leaving according to the gate pass. They bring it to the gate, then the police will check that item, making sure that the names and the item or the number is the name and the and the cargo and the name and the gate pass. If we use a name, and some people spell Godwin with a Y-Y-N, and some people with I-N. If a letter is different, that whole thing process have to start there and be rectified.
You gotta start all over.
Before they leave.
Because in my area, in my a village next to my village, there's two persons with the same name, but one spelled with N-Y and one spelled with N-I-E.
Mhm.
And they always get in trouble when they go for police record, because the one who don't do any trouble always have to explain that he's not that person.
Oh boy.
So for that reason, want to make sure that the person is getting the right cargo.
Okay. Now, if you find in your searches that an individual has on them illegal item or substance, what happens then?
Well, this is where we speak primarily to Grenades Wharf, because there's where we conduct most searches and we'll find illegal substance and stuff. There's a procedure. When you approach, the police officer must identify themselves, inform them of the reason why they're conducting search, also point out to them that this is our searching area. And when they comply, we search them, and if anything illegal is found, again, there's a procedure. You must be able to, while searching, they must be able to witness it. That is for transparency, so that they can say, I don't take anything.
Alright.
From there, once it's something illegal, we caution them, we explain to them what's the caution, and then we arrest them on suspicion, take them to the central station where they're processed.
Okay. So would there ever be a time where discretion is held that you just confiscate the item and let them go?
Yes, sometimes that do happen. Because let's be frank, now because of the changing with the criminalities of the marijuana, and there's some amount that we will charge person for as directed. So if we meet a person with like say, 2-3 grams, we're not gonna go through the process really of taking them to court.
But stone one
just-
is there.
We want them when we inform our superiors about how much we get, and then we just confiscate that amount and say it's stone warning and let them go. So we can make sure keep the names and address for future reference. Because we have our records where we keep person's name. So once we meet you with anything, because at the end of the month, we must have a report about all these things that we have confiscated. Sometimes with persons with knife, they give some excuse, but if we do not believe those excuses, we'll just sometimes confiscate the weapons and just warn them. Still write down the names.
And then peel orange.
That's been used before, so
Yeah, no. Okay, so again, I'm gonna peel an apple in the grenades. Come on. Yeah.
Obviously.
Now another question on illegal items. A box comes whether by the Grenadines port or okay. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw that. But that was a little flickering there. So I wanted divine intervention told me not to ask this question, boy. But something comes whether by air or sea. It's addressed to me. I'm not there to collect it yet. But in it, for some reason, the police gets involved and there's a search and you find something that's not supposed to be in there, whether it's drugs or ammunition. What happens at that point?
Well, first and foremost, we don't normally search it without the person who's the name is on the item.
Not really. Without a person be present for that.
For that, we don't really.
Okay, so somebody has to be present,
Mhm.
either the name on the box or
Somebody
acting
on behalf.
on behalf, right? And you find something that's not supposed to be in there, like ammunition,
Mhm.
firearm, drugs. After that, because of the nature of the item, arrest happens. Yes,
Of course.
Yes,
Yes,
of course.
Of course, yeah.
Even the person who come on behalf of you, they will be arrested until investigation will be carried out to find you who the consigning name is on that said cargo. So investigation will be carried out.
And at this stage, we will also ask the other departments for assistance. Like if it's drugs, we'll call the drug squad and firearm. Customs will also be involved. Customs will also have to play a major role in this search. Because in an initial stage, customs is the one who have to do the search
Mm.
of the cargo. And once they find anything, they will then involve the police, who will then, customs and the police will then take the person into custody. But the customs must be involved at this stage. The police don't have the powers to go and just search
No, you have
on
to.
the port. Once it's on the port, the customs must be involved also. The customs will do the search and then they will involve the police.
Well, that is on the main port itself.
Right.
But depending on what happens with just the police.
Okay,
As they
okay.
came in with bleeding and stuff,
Mhm.
customs will have to take the lead
Right.
in the
Like
search
regional shipments.
and international shipments.
Yeah.
The customs will take the lead and then the police will then come in
Aid
after.
and the assistant, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So what happens at other points of entry that are not the 5 ports that you mentioned? Are there officers assigned there as well? Like at
No, please. Well, I think there's some tasks by the port authority to get those to become fully under the port authority, which really and truly it belongs to the port authority. Because the newest one port that was reconstructed was shot below,
Mm.
which if anything happened, they will call the PFSO, which is the port security officer who is in charge of the police working on the port. So that one, and then they're thinking about Kenawan and Union Island also. So all the ports will be coming fully under the port authority. Then the police will be able to put persons there to work. And the Grenadines at the port will find police officers and those islands will go at those ports to conduct searches and make sure that the traffic is flowing
Mhm.
freely.
Okay. So persons who probably never ventured to the port, I don't think anybody in SVG have never gone to the port. What are some of the do's and don'ts?
When it comes to the port, first you must have a reason to come to the port. And most of the time, I'm talking about the ports that are iSpace compliant. Well, mostly Kingston and Camden Park, where
Okay.
persons come and collect the cargoes.
Mm.
You come with the paperwork that you get from the agents,
Yeah.
and then you go to the location area. They will locate the cargo, they'll find the location, they will write the location and the paper. They give you back the paper, then you go with your ID, some form of ID, collect a pass, then you come to the gate where you meet the
Right.
police.
And persons now, so like grandmother come to collect a barrel. She might want to bring cousin and nephew and uncle.
Grandma needs some help. Yeah.
But majority of the time, the amount of cargo you collected will limit you to amount of person who can be granted a pass to come on the port.
Mm.
But even in saying that, there is a grandmother, as Copper Market pointed out, and then she has, say, a granddaughter, who's up to 20 years old or above.
Mhm.
We use our discretion to allow them to assist us, because as I shouldn't be able to do up to the run around. So we normally use our discretion and allow them to come in and assist. Because normally, as Copper Market pointed out, they supposed to have ID to come on the port, to get a pass or to come on the port. Yeah, so sometimes Gandhi ID might not express in 19. Oh, so she might have she grandson.
Right.
Yeah, so we will use our discretion and assist in terms of allowing that person to come in.
You have to get your
But they
ID.
have the ID, or
Okay.
else we would invite her. We have a booth, and we'll invite her to stay there and let the grandson or whomever is assisting her to go and do the running around.
Okay.
And the other thing, persons will come with children. Children are not allowed on the boat. At
Children,
all times.
what age limit?
Well, most say from 17, but because they cannot obtain,
Yeah,
they will not
ID.
have an ID. They will not right,
Oh, so it's national ID or driver's license.
driver's license,
Passport.
Passport.
Yeah.
10-year-old can get a passport.
Right. Still,
18.
because we won't allow persons at that age under 18 to really enter on the port. At the port, we have all different equipments operated
In terms of safety.
in terms of safety. And once you enter the port, you will be direct you to where you're going. And once we know that you come to access the shed, we direct you to the shed, and we want you to remain at the shed. Sometimes some of the other challenges we have, persons will come to the shed and they want to go in the yard, out on the wharf. That is not allowed. We'll take you back. And if we might just take you outside, take away the pass, give you back the ID so you cannot be returned on the port.
Yeah, because sometimes we do understand you might get frustrated. You have two bucks coming in. You really want bucks like they take a week now. You can get to your items. Yes, it does.
Sounds like a typical story. Sounds like a typical story.
It doesn't feel frustrated. You understand, but you have persons to deal with that situation for you, than for you to leave your safety and go to a heavy equipment be operating to try and look for your back to self because you believe now, oh, that worker, you're not going fast enough, you're not doing what you're supposed to do and stuff like that. So that one is stuff we really want persons to abide with the police officers and the poor workers to let them do their work.
Okay.
And for also safety, persons when wearing vests and helmets and steel tip boots. This is very, very important to wearing these gears. Because when a person operating, especially the big machine that lift up the container, when that operator look in his rearview mirror and look around, he need to see where he's going. Because there's a big machine.
Mhm.
And he just need to sometimes just see something flash, so you know that maybe someone is around. Because one of those wheels is like, I just see my size, still bigger than. So one of those wheels from that machine carrying full container, walk on someone. You know what is gonna happen. So that's why we're thinking about safety. So persons, when they're using the yard, you must have a steel tip boots, you must wear a vest, and you must wear a helmet. And to be safe. Because sometimes persons see those containers there, and sometimes just as about 2 years ago in Kingston, just have a strong wind, and 3 containers was over in the sea. So it's very, we'll be safe, as we say, safety for us and the poor.
Right.
So, and one of our challenges, persons want to come and fish.
Fishing? I didn't expect that.
Persons will want to come up on the wharf and do their fishing on the wharf. That is not acceptable.
That's Kingston.
In Kingston and Camden Park.
And the fish are very good. The fish are good.
Yes.
Oh,
Remember
Canada.
now, as I say, it's offense. You be coming in on the port without any authority.
Right.
As in,
Okay.
any granted any access. You find a hole, you walk through, you find
They make a wall.
they don't really collect holes and make their own doors to come in. So now that's the offense, criminal trespass.
Oh.
And you can be arrested and prosecuted for it. So
You guys hear that?
Yeah.
Stay in your lane.
Sometimes people also come with their boat. They're already in a boat and they will
climb up.
climb up on the wharf.
Looking for food.
Yeah, we do understand that.
Yeah.
All these things, when it comes to prohibited, is prohibited.
Okay.
And some ports will want to remain and when a boat come to dock, will want to remain on the wharf, still doing their fishing. Which, and truly, if we are going to an inspection at the time, as I said, we get inspections sometimes 2-3 times a year. And those international inspectors come and they see persons who are not supposed to be on the wharf. That could put the country,
Entire country.
the entire
Yeah.
country.
Yes.
Because if you
Because if they fail us, that means those cruise ships that is coming, they're gonna stop them from coming. Those container ships,
international.
they're gonna stop. Now we have to find, to get those stuffs coming now that coming in the containers and the ship to come to Siemens. We have to get those local ships that do CARICOM run to go to other CARICOM countries to collect those cargo to bring. They're now gonna get into problem because our country, our ports are not ISPS compliant. So they now will have to go and explain to the other countries. They have to have the security, have to be searched and everything to dock at other ports. Which really, and then the economy of St. Louis will be affected because it's where we country make most of this money.
Yeah, because the minimum boats now
I mean,
they doing it as the goods.
Right.
And they have to take that. No, you go in and get the sugar and they go orange juice and things like that.
I'm trying to drink too.
And now you have to send down your edibles and your dashi.
Yeah, that will be also affected because farmers will be affected
Yeah,
because
big time.
the traffickers cannot carry out the stuff as they want.
Right.
Things are not coming in, so we almost collapse.
As if they catch one man on the boat fishing.
Because
Wow.
access control.
Right.
Realize now you're not getting proper access control on the port. As we all as the station mentioned terrorism.
Mhm.
If you go, one guy could slip to you and be doing that. They're now thinking now, what's gonna happen if a terrorist come and infiltrate the port? And
They're looking at their own interests,
Right.
and their interests are keeping their citizens safe.
Sounds like more responsibility than I initially
yeah,
thought. I mean, you just walk down to the port, you see the officers, hey, good morning, you guys, search, so on and so on. But I didn't realize, I think listeners too can appreciate this, that you carry so much weight on your shoulders. But we're out of time. It's actually 4 minutes after 9 o'clock. So I want to say, yeah, it does. I want to say thank you so much for joining us, and all the best. You said 8 years. How long have you been?
From about 10 years since the police take over the security.
Oh, what was it before that?
It was SS.
Before police took
It
over.
was what they call the port police.
Yeah.
That was
Sounds familiar.
employed by the port itself.
Oh, well, no,
And
you
then,
can't do that.
What happened when and then the prime minister decided that he needed regular police to do the
officers.
security.
Ah, yeah. How long were you?
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
7, 8, 10. So you play for a number. 7810. If it comes to that, you guys owe me. All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. All the very best. Take care until yes. All right.
Welcome.
All right. And that was